everybody doing out there in internet land tonight? How's it going? Garden, how's it going? Beepner out here throwing some fireballs. We got Karnoff throwing fireballs because Beepner knows it's going to be like 30 degrees for like the next 3 days or something. How's it going, Jetstorm? Hell yeah, we're going chill. Music still loud? Oh, the game. Hey, check that out. Oh. Yeah, let's go to the Pobby Lobby, everybody. Yeah, I had the why is the game audio on the living room scene? That shouldn't be there. That's not where that should be. There we go. Is that what they call scuff? Is that what the VTuber world calls scuff? You did car repairs in cold weather today and you want warm. Yeah, I've done that before. That is no fun at all. Yeah, I had to turn it down in the settings menu. Yeah, I'll probably do that once we jump over to the game and see how we're at. See how we're sounding. You did creative things. That's a good thing to be doing. Necessary and satisfying at least. Yeah, it's usually 60 degrees in your room right now. That is 9 degrees colder than I would prefer it in my room. Yeah, definitely, for sure. I keep my house at, like, not even for the memes, but I keep my house at 69 degrees. Not even for the memes, but just because it's like, I don't know, I just like it. It's where I am most comfortable, so I try to keep it it obviously fluctuates for like 68, 69, 70-ish, but yeah, once it hits 71, I just know. 77 is way too hot for indoors. I can't do it. I'm a baby. I am that whiny baby that's like, no, I need air conditioning. Yes, a wild Poly stream appears. How's it going? Ballas. Hope you're doing well this evening, Brent. Compared to 115, yeah. That definitely, yeah, I imagine it does. So yeah, how's everybody's holiday weekend? If you celebrate, are you sufficiently stuffed? I know that I got my yearly gravy reserves refilled and topped up, so I'm ready to go for another year. Unfortunately for you all, I'll be here another year. But yeah, did you have any nice food? Have any awkward family conversations? Those are always fun. Ever since I became a plushie on the internet, though, I don't have to worry about those anymore. Yeah, you did brisket. Like, I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to Garden's place next year. I want brisket for Thanksgiving. No, you're gonna do it next year because I'm gonna come over. That's what's going to happen. You're going to make me brisket and then feed it to me in my stupid mouth. That's what you're going to do. All right. You got it. It's a deal. You got a spare room? Nice. Let everyone else deal with Dan's alien shit. I stayed in the guest house and streamed. Nice. You finished Earthbound in a week. You did one of those big old week-long projects. Don't those feel good to complete? Don't those feel amazing? I know that every time I do a stream or a video series, it feels real cool to get to the end of it. Like, just one of those, I don't know, a sense of accomplishment, despite the fact that it's just you sitting here playing a video game. You will tie Polly to a chair and feed Polly brisket. Let's do it. Stuff it right in here. I've been tied to a chair before. What? Who said that? But yeah, I hope everybody's had. There's a Guilty Gear joke in there or something. Yes, there is. 6 days of streams in a row. Haven't done that since NES Mega Man streams from like 8 years ago. Yeah. Streaming's awesome. And here you were telling me, I don't want to put nothing in the showcase. I don't stream. I don't do nothing. I'm Poncho Smith. Blah, 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 blah. That's what you sound like. And now you're sitting here. Now it's like, I did that shout out for you. Now what's what? Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah. I hope you all had a nice little holiday break there as we cruise into holiday part 2. Hey, at least we were all like together and thankful for things, right? At least we had that. Maybe if you didn't have the greatest of days, at least you had some things you were thankful for. Just don't consider it art. That's fine. I consider stream. Look, everything that I have done on this stream in the past like 10 minutes is literally art. Like they could play this shit on like in a museum 24/7, and I'm impressing the public. But is it art? Absolutely. But it is. You butt your ass it is. That didn't make any damn sense, did it? And again, when has anything I have ever said made a damn bit of sense? You'll have something ready for next showcase? You know, I love the fact that, and I'm not saying, I'm not trying to be mean, and I'm not saying that I won't. I just don't know what we're going to be doing in a year. But like when I announced the community showcase, right? I had people immediately get back to me like, man, I'd really love to do a video. I'll just wait till you do it next year. It's like, wait a minute, wait, what? Wait, I've never even done one of these before, and everybody's got me signed up for one next year? What? Now, I'm not saying that, like, I didn't establish a workflow, but like, I did go into that project with, like, literally no experience really editing, like, you know, a large-scale video project, and then, you know, like 2 days after you announce it, and you know, you're sitting there going, how am I gonna do this? People are in your DMs going, hey, I'll just do a video next year. It's like, oh, shit. This is taking the place of the Let's Play Olympics, except I have to do all the heavy lifting. Admittedly, it inspired you to do something yourself. Hey, you know what? I think I actually got unstuck on an idea. Like, there's a game idea that I have had. It's not really a game idea. It was more like just a game name. There's a game name. I had the game's name in my head since probably like February or March. And I didn't know what to do with it. I just knew that it's just like, oh, yes, of course. Polly would make this dumb game. Like, this is a game. If I said the name of it, your first reaction would be, yep, that's a dumbass Polly idea. And, like, sitting here this past week, I actually got an idea that I think I'm going to start playing around with. And since like Game Maker 2 is free now, that gives me a chance to get familiar with all the new environment. You're going to try something for Game of the Year. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing a video list this year. I know that like usually like when we, like the last couple of years that I've done Game of the Year, I've done like a Christmas night stream, but I think I'm just going to do a video this year. And kind of cut it together like the same way that I did the community showcase, but obviously like, you know, in a different format and stuff. But yeah, I think I'm gonna do that instead of trying to like, hey, who wants to come watch me be an idiot on stream on Christmas night? I thought that those were fun streams, but I just kind of got like, I don't know, do people really want to do that? And if they do, I'll just get everybody together, I'll play the video, and then we'll talk about your games of the year or something. I don't know. If people still want to do that, we can do that. That'll be fine. Yeah, I got ideas for streams coming up that I want to do. Of course, we're probably going to do another end of the year stream, and I am not going to drink. Probably a lot. Not like last year. That was a big mistake. Won't be doing that again. Watch Polly watch the Yule log burn in the fireplace. There's an asset I need to get. There we go. We'll just do that. Cranberry juice. You know, I mean, I will probably drink this year doing the New Year's Eve stream, but I am probably not going to just do straight vodka shots like I did last year. And then you get to the end of the stream and you're like, I've drank 90% of this bottle in 3 hours. That's probably bad. Probably don't need to be doing that again. Polly Popinski, there you go. There's the edit. Somebody get Sayara on the phone. Actually, don't. I wasn't super proud of how that stream ended. I was fucking dead by the end. I didn't feel super great the next day either. I wasn't hungover, but I was just like, oh God, I've not felt this bad from drinking since I was like 19 or 20. There we go. It's a holiday log. All right. Who's ready for some damn video game? I've sat here and I've run my damn mouth long enough. You didn't come here for me. You came here for a damn video game. So let me get down here, and then we'll start working on the audio. Let's see. Where are we at? Whoop. All right. Okay. How do I sound in relation to the audio? Do we need to bring the game down a bit? Hold on. Let me turn the game audio back on before you answer that. So yeah, how am I sounding versus the game audio, and do I need to bring it down a bit? Is this more I don't know that this is an emotional cyberpunk. I don't think that this is by Sigyad, who did those wonderful Toho visual novels that me and Beepner ran through a couple years ago. Game audio could be a touch lower. You got it. Let's see. Let's do... How about that? Just a smidgen lower? I can go lower. It's fine if we need to go lower than this. I just did 3 decibels. I can do more. Because, yeah, this is pretty loud, actually. This will work. You think right here is good? Mostly music anyway? All right. Well, if it becomes an issue during the game, you just let me know and we'll go back in and we'll start getting things fixed. But yeah, this is Twilight Town, a cyberpunk day in life. I am 100% blind to this game. All I know is that it's by Sigyad team, or that Sigyad edited it, and that we played Toho visual novels that were very cute. And I know that apparently this was popular enough that they made an FPS this year too. So yeah, all right. So if everybody's ready, we'll go ahead and head on into a cyberpunk day in life. My timeline was very mad last night, apparently, about a CM Punk day in the life. I know that much. I don't know much about CM Punk other than, everybody's pissed off about it. Yeah, you're going to play that? Yeah, I'm probably going to grab it myself. It actually looks pretty good. Station, Eastern Shopping Center. Stand clear of the closing doors, please. Oh, this is wow! Look at this! This is already 100 times more impressive than the work he's done that I've seen before. Punk is a miserable prick, but he's good at wrestling. There's a bundle of Sigyad's non-Toho stuff on sale. Dope. Yeah, this looks incredible. It's got animated backgrounds and everything. What's going on here? Who are you and what have you done to Sigyad? Freezing wind burst into the monorail car along with the crowd. Those who were inside shivered. New passengers hurried further in, trying to escape the cold. The monorail was jammed with people. People pushed each other around, trying their hardest to take a heated seat. I put my hands into the pockets of my jacket and turned away, pretending to be asleep. Next station, residential sector 26, Honoki District. Congratulations on completing another working day. Sophia thanks you for your service. Nobody paid any attention to the voice coming from the speakers. Such announcements were always aimed at laborers and city officials, but those kinds of people don't take the train. There have been a lot of those announcements lately. I wonder if it has to do with the plunging output of the industrial sectors or something else. Not that I care. Out of the corner of my eye, I noticed a few passengers that couldn't hold back a tired smile when they heard Sophia. Can't begin to imagine what's on their mind. I felt for an ever-thinning wallet inside my pocket, sighed, and pressed my cheek against the freezing window. I will never set foot in the gambling sector again. That's what they all say! The tank from Blaster Master thanks you. I've been extremely lucky up until now, however. I remember it like it was yesterday. In the blink of an eye, I lost everything and ended up on the cold streets, penniless. I feel like I watched a movie about that last night. Things might have turned out differently if I had just gotten one more spin. Well, it doesn't matter now. What really matters is, where do I get more money? Attention! In accordance with the city's energy policy, the monorail heating systems will be turned off during the ride to the residential Sector 26 Hanuki District station. Great! No heating means I'm just gonna freeze my balls off on my way home. This is about the third cut in our district recently, although I don't blame them for cutting off the heat. Maybe once our district cleans up its act, we'll get heat back. Or perhaps we won't clean up our act until we get the heat back on? Such a hot topic would make for a heated discussion, especially at Thanksgiving. All of the conversations, which were already few and far between, disappeared completely. It was a 30-minute ride to the next station, and those prudent enough were already asleep. Some even managed to do it while standing. If I'm not careful, I'll start dozing off too. Man, this game just looks stupid good. We've only seen like 2 backgrounds so far, but it's just there's an amazing sense of place. Done a real good job on this already. Hey, Flatcap, how you doing? Hope you are having a good one. You ain't missed much yet. We're just on our way home, and we're apparently terrible gamblers. Brumos, how's it going? Gosh, look at this. So many friends now. I gotta do some shout outs. Hold on here. There we go. There's one. Get another one going here. You just chilling? Glad to hear it. Always happy to have a good chill with our mossy pal. I hope to help you along in your mission to chill. What's with the point of the arrow flashing sign? What is it even for? Who knows? It's just like, this is where you go. This is where you go button. All right. I got off the train along with a dozen strangers. They hurriedly wandered off in different directions, leaving me alone on the platform. I pulled a pack of L Heart out of the inner pocket of my jacket in one smooth motion. I was about to smoke right on the platform, but managed to change my mind in that time and stepped aside into a less illuminated area. A petrol lighter came out of the other pocket. It looked quite beat up and outdated, but it was exactly what I liked about it. Stand here. Actually, that lighter was just one of many things that outlived their usefulness a long time ago, but somehow ended up in my hands. I flicked the spark wheel and lighted up the cigarette. Elhart smoke, thick and with a tinge of sweetness, filled my lungs. My head became pleasantly foggy. Come to think of it, today's loss was not that awful. I've seen worse. I'm sure I can win everything back. All I need is some money, and then if I just min-max on those spins or change my cards more aggressively, shit! A sudden gust of wind ripped the half-finished cigarette out from my hand and carried it away in an unknown direction. In the cyberpunk hell of the future, no one knows that smoking causes cancer due to intervention of tobacco companies fooling everyone with fake studies. Yeah? Sounds about right. Maybe I used up all my bad luck for today after all. I sighed and sat on a nearby bench. I could hear the noisy city from afar, though it was impossible to discern any voices or melodies since they're all mixed together. The smooth sounds of the monorail was the only sound that managed to work its way through the viscous noises. In a way, it was kind of relaxing. While listening to this lulling sound, I closed my eyes just for a brief moment. Ikro, my man! Can you hear me? Wake up, damn it! Startled, I opened my eyes. Do we have a friend? We got a friend! Before me, I saw a guy wearing Admiral's tracksuit. Are you deaf or something? Glad to see you too. The guy who put such an abrupt end to my daydreams, Nobu, a buddy of mine. To be honest, he probably was the only one who considered us buddies. I usually tried to stay as far away from this guy as possible. Also, this game got jams. I feel like this game is kind of taking a lot of its jam inspiration, maybe from Valhalla. I kind of feel like I heard a lot of this stuff in Valhalla. But yeah, this is jammy jam right here. I'm enjoying this. He just wasn't my type. That is to say, he's a bit of a dick. Still, Nobu did help me get out of trouble from time to time, and I'm grateful for that. And he's nice to have around. I shook my head, trying to chase away the remaining sleepiness. Did I fall asleep? Looks like it. How long have I been like this? Hell if I know. You better get home if you don't want to freeze your balls. Huh, I think I said something like that earlier. Maybe Nobu and I are more alike than I thought. Maybe I'm the dick? I'm getting that impression. I'm getting that impression that we are probably the dick. This is just the 80s. Regardless, Nobu was his usual self as always. Still, he had a point. It was really cold outside. Are we the baddies? Want to smoke? I offered him the pack. Nah, bro, gotta go. Only now had I noticed that Nobu was in a hurry. He was restless, repeatedly sneaking glances at the watch. All right, see you, dude. Yeah, see ya. Oh, and since you offered, brazen as always, he reached for the pack and grabbed a few cigarettes. Then he waved goodbye and disappeared around the corner. I, on the other hand, turned toward home. Man, this game just keeps, like, having art. I don't expect this. Like, I paid, like, $2 for this game. And this game just keeps having art and more art and jams. Good evening, my son. Oh, it's you, kid. Come here for a second. Lady at the counter called out to me in a cheerful voice. As I came closer, she turned around in her chair, pushed off the wall, and dashed my way at the speed of a racing car. Oh God, Maya-san's hot! Oh no! I like her already. She's fantastic. She's not said anything at all to me that would give me any indication of her personality, but she's already cool. This lady was the shrewdest person in my residential block. The government had entrusted her with the duties of a security guard, a doorkeeper, a janitor, and God knows what else. Thanks to her position, I can think of a few positions I'd like to give her too. She could go wild as much as she wanted. Oh my. She was crafty enough to get the residents to do the janitor duties though. I don't blame them. Who could say no to her? I wouldn't. Why the sour face? Well, actually, never mind. I felt her eyes fix on me for a while. What was I gonna tell her? I have a crippling gambling addiction, and one of the only things that keeps me going is seeing your bubbly smile and your equally bubbly boobs in my face. Well, okay. He's got a point. She does have equally bubbly boobs. Fine, not my business. I wonder how she'd react if I told her, you know, I actually kind of know someone in real life that kind of looks like her. She's a little more heavier set, but she kind of got a similar look. Now I'm thinking of her, and I don't really want to, because she's more of just a family friend. Regardless, she pretended to lose interest in me, but it was clear she was brimming with anticipation. You know, I have a little something for you. Aha! I knew it! No peeking. She reached down to the lowest drawer of her desk. I came closer and tried to look over her shoulder. Stop right there, kid. Step aside if you don't want to have nightmares. Okay, I will certainly have them, especially if, say, a huge dildo flies out of there. Why would a huge dildo fly out of there? Thinking about the local male woman? Oh, yeah, dude, actually, Dave, I actually have dated my male lady. Like, at one point, I actually did hook up with my male lady. So, that's not far from the truth. Also, everybody, go follow Junkyard Dave. Does some amazing work for charity and stuff like that, but also puts on really fun streams. A speedrunner. He's making a partner push. It would be do me a solid and go follow and watch Dave's streams. That'd be really awesome if you did that. Did you put anything in her mail slot? You tried to think of the most obscure person today. Nah, dude, I'm not even kidding. Like, I told a number of people about this, like, when the quote-unquote courtship was happening. Like, this was 3 or 4 years ago. Yeah, I ended up hooking up with the male lady. And her girlfriend. Okay, I'll certainly have them, especially if, say, a huge dildo flies out of there. I wouldn't be surprised if she really had something like that at her workplace. My son kicked the drawer, closing it with a bang, and then approached me. In her hands, she had something wrapped in a black plastic bag. I raised an eyebrow in surprise. Curious? I bet you've never seen something like this before. Zip. Oh, tell me this is... She opened up the bag a little, revealing an elongated glass bottle. Judging by the look on her face, Maya-san was about to burst from anticipation at any moment. Well... How am I? And I'm doing alright. I'm doing pretty good tonight. And this is Twilight Town, a cyberpunk day in life. It's a visual novel. It's like it's apparently just like a short little story, but it's really impressive looking so far, and I like visual novels, so yeah, it's just a comfy little story game that we're playing. Maybe this is the dildo. Yeah, that's a little dangerous. But yeah, I'm doing all right. I hope you're doing well. Still recovering from NES day. She didn't bother to reply. Instead, she began to uncap the bottle with a mischievous smile. She was doing it slowly on purpose, as if to process what was bringing her a special kind of pleasure. The dull sound of the cap coming off finally rang out, and then my nose was assaulted by a strong, sweet smell of alcohol! It can't be! Seeing my expression, Maya-san burst out laughing so hard she spilled some of the bottle's contents on me. Holy shit, Maya-san! I gazed around in a panic. There was a lonely man walking past our block. My heart skipped a beat. What if he notices? What if he's already noticed? If anyone gets wind of this, I'll become a criminal. Spent all day basically horizontal, doing varying things. It was really fun though. I got you. Yeah, like even after just like long ass streams, like I've done like 7-hour streams. Like when we do Game of the Year podcasts, those are usually like 7 hours, 8 hours long to record them. And I usually have to do that the next day because I'm usually just dead. So I understand that running and organizing a large stream, you know, obviously much bigger than trying to put a podcast together. But, yeah, I feel you. How's it going, Suki Wookie? Hope you're doing well, friend. How's the Thanksgiving treated you? Hope it's treated you well. Hope you've had a good time. What, you weren't one? I think at this point she knows me a little too well. Relax, I'm joking. Damn, this is not funny, Maya-san. Put it away already! Don't be such a wuss! Maya-san turned into the direction the man that was coming from and waved. I turned around and saw him walking our way. What are you doing? Stay still, kid. She said that in such a strict manner that I got baffled. What in the world what was that supposed to mean? In the meantime, the man approached us. His appearance was quite unpleasant. He had a strong facial features and didn't look Asian. Perhaps he's one of the residents? Maya-san told me that she had assigned a whole floor to a group of foreigners. The man didn't show any interest in me. Instead, he gave Maya-san a meaningful look. Without a word, Maya-san took his hand and led him away from me. Apparently, they knew each other? Oh, whatever, it's not my business. What really matters is that I've managed to avoid trouble. But Maya-san sure is reckless. She didn't even hesitate to shout at the top of her lungs while holding a bottle of prohibited alcohol. Meanwhile, they were already engaged in a lively conversation. I didn't want to be the third wheel, so I stepped outside to have a smoke. What kind of cyberpunk is afraid of alcohol? It's apparently banned in this world. Our main character is kind of a putz. Yeah, I'm already getting the fact that this dude's kind of a putz. Really loving the background art in this game, though. It's just consistently super on point. This small area in front of the entrance was the perfect place to stand and dwell on something. I wonder why. Here we go again. I used to look for any excuse to stay here even a little longer instead of going back to my lonely apartment. But now I had someone waiting for me at home, and I'm not talking about Maya-san. Oh? Well, we're not enough of a putz that I guess we don't know people or to be living with somebody. Everybody nutted over Romulan ale. The watch showed 9:53 p.m. The sky was covered with a pale haze so thick it was hard for even the moonlight to break through it, not to mention the stars that were only visible outside the city in the first place. Everything was as gray and dull down here. If you took a closer look, you'd notice the whole city was wrapped up in wires and railways, which allowed monorails to occasionally run past me with their noisy screeching, the monotonous rumble that haunts you wherever you go. I sighed and looked down. I took the last drag and, not even bothering to aim, tossed the cigarette butt towards the trash can. Hope it didn't miss! Hey, don't pretend you're done. Damn, leave me alone. Exhausted, I collapsed on the sofa. I looked around and noticed that the utter chaos the room had been in was now just a little meh. Not bad, if I say so myself. After what happened today, I needed to let off some steam more than ever. Cleaning was the perfect way to do it. Who said you could slack off? I'm all dusty, you know? Like, Is this are we just friends with a computer? Hold on, are we friends with our computer? Makes you think Phoenix Wright just with dildo? I mean, I imagine, you know, it's a visual novel, so like I think a lot of people's main visual novel experience is with Phoenix Wright, so that tracks. My computer wife, Karen. Let me catch my breath, okay? Why don't you get off my back? Say snorted. I guess you need an explanation. Say is not just a screen companion that modern school kids brag about so much. She's a full-fledged household user maintenance interface. A HUMI for short. It's a primitive device with an intellect of a pet or a bit higher. Still, it's free of charge and comes with a lifetime warranty. Those are the best kinds of friends. Wonderful, isn't it? As soon as HUMIs became mass-produced, residential areas were the first place they were installed in. The installation was mandatory. That doesn't sound good. You know, like, maybe that's probably not a good thing. I'm betting there's a lot of unethical surveillance issues that we're running into here, and nobody's saying it. You had to be a complete fool not to realize what was going on. Well, I was one. It's almost been a year. Say was just an obedient doll back then, only capable of switching lights off or a kettle on. she only did what she was told to, and her only name was a row of numbers on her casing. I was perfectly content with her basic set of options and voice commands, but after a while, I began speaking with her. It was scary and awkward, but I told her everything that I couldn't share with anyone else. I spoke about my childhood, my family, my favorite books, how and where I want to die. That is a weird thing to be telling your fucking Nintendo. Yeah, you have to buy Alexa. I didn't have anyone else in my life. She was all I had. Of course, I knew that all humies are tapped, but I couldn't stop. And of course, she never answered. That's what drove me crazy the most. One day, I cried right in front of her. You could say I was reborn that day. I realized what I really desired. I wanted a goal so ambitious and unattainable, I could dive into it head first. And I've finally obtained it. The feeling I had totally forgotten. I decided to make Say alive. I immediately started moving towards that goal. After just a few short months of research, I met an anonymous like-minded individual on the darknet forums. In order to win his trust, I had to embellish my story a bit, or rather, I totally pulled the wool over his eyes. I just made up random shit about taking control over city systems, public broadcasting of political slogans, rewiring surveillance drones firmware. In short, all of the stuff people from forums like that dream about, but would never actually try. And he totally bought into that. After a period of lively chatting, we arranged a meeting in a backstreet library on the 22nd Residential. Imagine my surprise when my anonymous friend turned out to be Heng. Or Hung. Why did I say Heng? I know people like with the name Hung. Why did I read it Heng? It's Dan Hung. Like, I literally know people named Fung and Hung. How does this happen to me? My fellow student from the university. Although, while I rounded off all 7 years, he dropped out during the second. By doing that, he practically gave up on his future as a responsible member of society. No wonder fate brought him to the black market, where he could make use of his skills to the fullest. We spent a few hours talking. After that, we shook hands and agreed to never meet in person again. Our arrangement was simple. I brought money, and Hung brought whatever I needed. No meetings. All the money and goods exchanges were done through caches. Caches? Why am I... Good lord, did I just like forget how to read since the last visual novel I read? A reliable, time-tested way. First of all, I removed the tapping device that was attached to Say. Obviously, you can't remove it outright, otherwise you'd get a visit from a very nice man dressed in white asking you why you did that. To remove the tapping device, you had to put a faint speaker directly on it. The speaker would repeat the typical mundane tasks every now and again, like, say, turn on the kettle, say, turn off the lights. This made it so that your actual words could be spoken without fear of being recorded. It was a pretty smart idea. I just wish I'd came up with it first. That is such a stupidly simple hack. Oh my god. That is the kind of hack that you write when you're writing a visual novel and need a real quick way to make hacking seem easy and don't want to explain something much bigger and complicated. I say this as somebody who has written stories before, okay? After the tapping device was taken care of, obtaining a voice module came next. Of course, I didn't mean to use something as ancient as Evelyn 2, which is a weird-sounding one used in monorails and public spaces. What I strived for was Sienna, which sounded almost identical to a real human's voice, but still had that faint touch of AI to it, which made it even more pleasant to listen to. Its usual price on the black market started from 70 grand, but Hung managed to bring it down to 40. You used to duct tape cold sodas to a thermostat? You'd say it's legit? Yeah, it sounds fine. Despite getting such a great discount, I had to spend all of my savings for the last few years on it, and I still needed so many things. I didn't want to wait. I faced a dilemma, obtaining money either through stealing or gambling. I had already tried enough schemes to be sent to jail, so I decided to push it to the limit. That's when luck really smiled on me. I chose the second option, by the way. The next purchase cost me 130 grand, which I had no problem paying thanks to my immense luck at the blackjack table. I thought I might have been a psychic that day. Anyways, what I purchased was an algorithmic self-teaching module. This device is not available for the public, and the only way to get it is to either work for the government or obtain it through the black market. In short, the device allows even simple AI like Say to perceive her surrounding environment and shape her own sense of self. Oh, there's no autosave? Oh, does this game have like, is this game gonna kill me at some point? Is that just like a kind way of saying, hey, the game might kill you? Also, I can't believe this is done in Ren'Py. Like, because this is the Ren'Py UI, and I know this because me and John didn't really alter it much for her lullaby, and afterward. But they like to get all of this cool shit going up here. Like, look at all this. This is pretty dope. Like, this is pretty. Yeah, this is a pretty good. This is pretty amazing UI work. So I didn't know this was Ren'Py at first. Of course, it's a time-consuming process. It took her no less than 2 months to start speaking in a more or less sensible manner. Life has been like a breath of fresh air since then. All requests Say used to carry out without question had to be pleaded for now. I even had to search weather forecasts in the news by myself. It comes with a caveat though. Perceiving that much information every second fills up her memory modules so fast she needs a new one every month. She sometimes works around this through either swapping information for more relevant ones or deleting old information outright. For example, one day she couldn't tell how many continents are on the planet in one day, but instead tell you all about the lineage of Henry IV off the top of her head on another. Well, she began discarding information like that soon enough. If you calculate the total cost of all the equipment, today's loss would barely amount to 10% of that sum. And I lost a lot today. Yeah, it needed some proofreading. Absolutely. I feel like that's the case for all of Sigyad's game where, you know, they're almost there. You just like, oh, I'm almost just like, you almost want to like reach out sometimes and be like, look, I will actually read your scripts. Like, you know, like I will give them a once over and help you out here. I've done localization and editing before. I like Sigyad's work enough to like offer that. Dab on Darkness was pretty good. I've liked all of his games. I think they're all super charming. It doesn't matter though. I can't say I have anyone apart from Say to spend money on. I have no girlfriend. I don't even own an aquarium fish, and it doesn't look like I will anytime soon. I remember the day she came up with her own name, like it was yesterday. She even went as far as to explain her choice and why she liked it. I was brimming with joy all day. I wouldn't be surprised if someone told me I was smiling even in my sleep. Ikuro, is everything alright? Yeah. Are you sure? I am. Are you sure you're sure? No. She almost started to sob. No, see, man. Just say. Say, man. Ikuro, fine. I get up from the sofa. Say went silent right away, letting me wipe the screen in peace. But when the cloth rubbed the lower part of her prosthetic exterior where the main sensors were installed... wait, what? No! No! Oh, no! Oh, Jesus. No! A moan you could hear in erotic movies. It might have sounded hot if it wasn't so damn funny. I watched her, barely able to keep myself from laughing. Are you making fun of me? She bit her lip and tried to escape my gaze by repeatedly disappearing and reappearing in different parts of the screen. I assessed the situation once more and burst out laughing, unable to hold it in anymore. You got distracted and missed. Oh no! How's it going, Millie? Hope you're doing well. I hope that the weekend of giving thanks has treated you well. Thankful for you, friend. You say curse to me in every way imaginable while I was shamelessly laughing my ass off. We apparently just got our computer off. Literally, we touched it and our computer is just like, yo, dog. Hey. Looks like she's been studying erotic material by herself, knowing full well I don't check her logs. Of course, when I told her that, she got even more enraged. Still, she couldn't deny it. Whew. It's hard not to go crazy with her around. Whatever, I guess I'll just go get some sleep. Stop right there! I haven't finished yet! Night, say. Rip. This has been very cute so far, though. We're a dude that, lives, I guess, kind of in the cyberpunk slums. We're bad at gambling, but we also turned our computer system, we made our computer system sentient, and I guess we just got her off accidentally. It's the only friend we have. Our only friend is our computer. And alcohol is not permitted, which would mean that I would be committing a crime right now. The morning turned out to be unusually soothing. The gentle breeze found its way through half-open windows, driving away musty air from the apartment. Sophia's ringing voice would be heard from the other side of the window, too. It announced the beginning of the weekend. I stretched out and went to turn the kettle on, say hum to herself cheerfully, with not a care in the world. You're up early today. It's Saturday. I can't waste time. Are you going to gamble again? Yep. You should stop this, Ikuro. You understand it won't end well, don't you? Gosh, here we go again. Say I had a point, though, but I'm only doing this for her sake. Once I have enough money to buy enough memory modules for my lifetime, I'll stop gambling, I swear. At least that's what I tell myself anyways. You know you need a new memory module. You're right, but no talking back, Say. I poured myself some tea and sat down on the sofa. Maybe Say is right. Maybe I really should find a source of income that was steady and legal. But then I'd have to cast my dream aside. No way! I chose to walk this shady path despite what teachers, my own mother, and Sophia too kept telling me. The only thing I'm really good at is not paying attention to the lessons I'm given. That makes me proud deep down, even though it's not something you brag about. It's a good enough coping mechanism. I'm worried about you, Ikuro. I don't want you to lose all of your money. Why don't you listen to me? No, it's me who's worried. Besides, I haven't lost a single time this week, and I'm not going to lose today either. Say didn't answer. I don't know why I lied. She most probably knows my fiasco yesterday, but I just couldn't bring myself to say it out loud. Perhaps I don't want to disappoint her, or what's worse, to let her feel insecure. I put my shoes on, threw my jacket over my shoulder, and stepped outside. Oh, she Xing out, closing. I left the elevator and was about to leave the building when something unusual caught my attention. My son was absent, but the door to her room was open. Oh, that's not good. I don't think I've ever seen this happen before. I glanced around to make sure there wasn't a soul in the hall and stuck my head inside. A flagrant violation of the law. It happened this morning in the block of the 24th residential sector. According to the witnesses' statements, some unknown individuals committed multiple acts of violence against a woman. Holy shit! Can't you spin this goddamn tape faster? And get a load of this. Not only was that lady didn't resist, she even seemed to like it. We certainly have seen and know about and maybe even tried certain things. But that's not all, my darlings. Eyewitnesses claim that the beating was going on for at least 5 minutes. Then, boom! A bright flash of light followed, and all the culprits were suddenly on the ground. Everything was covered in blood, intestines, and other lovely things. And what do you think happened next? Our heroine marched through the exit like nothing ever happened. I felt shivers running up my back. Why is this game like your biography? Oh no! Oh no! Dave, don't get beat up! I'll beat people up for you. You send them to me. You show me where they're at. I got a tire iron. I'll take care of that shit. You're a little baby Canadian. People can't get away with beating up my little baby Canadian friends. That's not all. According to investigators' reports, that's important. A synthetic eye was discovered at the crime scene. Suddenly, I felt someone's heavy hand crash down on my shoulder. Startled, I shrieked and turned around. Yo, it's Mai! How you doing? You and your beautiful, bubbly personality. She was right in front of me with a mischievous smile on her face. I gave her the most disgruntled stare possible. Hey, easy now. It wasn't on purpose. Who could know you're such a scaredy cat? By the way, what are you sniffing out here? Well, I just heard the news and got interested. Get lost, kid. She was obviously upset that I'd stuck my nose in her private business. She shouldered me aside, entered the room, and shut the door. That woman. She's a female, right? That's why they were beating her up? I didn't mean to address those words to her, but my son still replied, "Don't make it your burden." It sure was easy to say. That's strange. Why would a Samil end up in such a place in the circumstances? Something's off. What is a Simil, you ask? Well, you could say it's a perfected version of AI, locked up in a fancy shell. Each of them has an AST module installed in its head, similar to Say's, but much lighter. And there are tens of thousands of Samils in the city. The modules are priceless, and they use them for those. I don't even know what to call them. Mannequins would probably be the most suitable word. Samils, however, are absurdly expensive, though the government will give them out as hand-me-downs if you run a large enough business or entity, like a hotel or apartment complex. As far as I could tell, people always felt superior to Samils and treated them with disdain. For the most part, I disagreed with that attitude. The very thing that separates humans from AI is, well, intelligence. If an AI is just as smart and capable as a human, it should be considered human. Certain kinds of people will just say that no matter how complex they may be, they're merely lines of code simply acting that way and don't actually have emotions. But I digress. Hey, don't you have stuff to do? My thinking was disturbed by Maya-san's formidable voice. I'm going to work here, and I would like it very much if you didn't get in the way. She put a huge emphasis on the words very much. Wait, are you really going to leave it at this? Yes, Ikuro. Oof. I was going to the gambling sector in a half-empty monorail. An image appeared deep inside my mind, a corridor soaked in blood, dismembered bodies. And the day seemed so soothing in the morning. This is why I try to avoid listening to the news. Another image appeared. Now it was Say, looking at me with a mix of disappointment and sadness on her face. I'm doing this for you, Say. Once I have enough memory modules for you, I'll stop gambling, I promise. The mood got worse every second. The confidence I felt this morning was completely gone too. What am I even hoping for? I lost 20 grand yesterday. Now I only had 2. Not to mention, these were my last money. The chances for success were slim. Sun puddles began jumping around the monorail car, which meant that I was almost there. In a minute, I was at the doors, trying to gather enough courage to step outside. Stand clear of the closing doors, please. Shit! The hell with this. I'm going back home. Half an hour later, I stood at the spacious area in front of my residential block. Nobu's mug appeared on my cell phone screen. My finger was shaking right above the call button. Hey, what's up? Listen, can you lend me some money? Money? Why? Just do it. How do I know you'll pay me back? It's the first time I've ever asked you for anything, man. Maya and I were about to go out and have some fun, but I guess we'll swing by your place. Treat us to something nice and we'll see. Fine, come over. Now that's better. We'll be there in an hour. Actually, He hung up. I found Maya-san sitting at her tiny desk, as usual, sorting some papers, though she began nervously putting them away just as soon as she noticed me. Hey kid, what are you doing here? Don't you have anything to do? As far as I know, I live here. I thought I could come here whenever I want. I see, you like to joke around. I have my hands full, so go mind your own business. Maya-san was still nervously fidgeting in her chair, hiding her papers. She gave me a glare so menacing it was clear that I wasn't welcome here. Sorry. I hung my head to avoid looking at her desk. Maya-san's strict expression softened slightly. Do you need something, or did you just come to say hi? Do you still have, that bottle? Her eyes sparkled. So the boy made up his mind and wants to become a man now. I'll help you with this, rest assured. I hope she didn't get the wrong idea. Wait a sec. After digging through the drawer for a while, she pulled out the familiar black plastic bag and approached me, looking pleased. Here you go. She handed me the bag with a pompous look on her face. You're not even gonna ask what I need it for? As if I don't already know. I carefully took the bag and immediately hid it inside my backpack. Thanks. Now get out of here already. Yes, man. She gave that up pretty easily. I feel like alcohol is like something you don't just, since it's illegal in this world, you don't just give it up that easily. On my way out, Maya-san smacked my ass. I didn't know how to react, so I nervously giggled and walked towards the elevator. Maya's the cool aunt. Yeah, absolutely. On my way out, I heard a familiar but faint laugh. This means war now. Wait till I smack your ass. If I don't feel like smacking my computer's ass first. Back in my apartment, I decided to take a sip of the bottle Maya-san gave me. Shit, tastes even worse than I thought. Maybe alcohol is illegal precisely because of how awful it tastes. I searched the table for a glass of soda, my eyes watering. The moment my hand reached the glass, I brought it to my mouth and washed away the burning swill. You're pathetic, Ikuro. Yeah, right. Why don't you try it yourself then? Maria grabbed the glass, filled it to the brim, and drank it all in one gulp. Then she gave me a flying kiss. I'm assuming she blew you a kiss. As if to mock me, Nobu immediately followed her example but omitted the kissing part. Now she's gonna call the cops. Anybody in chat want a flying kiss, by the way? Well, what else would I have expected from these guys? So, where did you get the booze? Come on, spill it. I know places. I showed a self-important grin. Can't snitch on my accomplice after all. Yeah, you sure do. Who are we to talk? Right, Mari? Is it just me or is he hinting at something? Nobu laughed and pushed Mari lightly. He put more strength into the push. Mari, being quite tipsy already, dramatically collapsed onto the carpet. That's really cute. I leaned over her. Are you okay? Let her lie there for a while. It's her own fault. Nevertheless, Nobu pulled out a bottle of water from under the table and put it close to Now she's Marie. Okay. So she could reach it at any moment. So how's it going with her? I asked that for no reason. We had to talk about something after all. Nobu contemplated for a while and then replied. It's getting worse. She spends all day at home and then disappears at night. One day she won't let me in her room, the other I can't chase her out of mine. I'd break her arm or something, but what would that do? That's not a very nice thing to do. Yeah, it's like a flying kick, but for your mouth. I shudder to think of what he'd do without a wiretap on his house. Hey! Mari, who was silent all the time, who was silent all that time, suddenly shouted, or rather groaned. Nobu and I glanced at each other. He then switched his gaze to Mari, assessed the state she was in, and slapped her cheek. She immediately jumped up and blinked in surprise, looking from side to side. Are we going for another round? Mari returned to the table and put the empty shot glass in front of Nobu. He, in turn, took another shot and put it in front of her, and put it in front of me. I think I've had enough. In a while, my guests were lying on the carpet, drunk. I turned the TV on for them and stepped out onto the balcony. Sounds like Nobu was making a move on Mari. Bravo! It's the first time they're at someone's place and he goes straight to the point. Dumbass. I leaned over the railing and contemplated. The lights in the residential area were dim, making it difficult to see. It seemed like there was a sucking void down there. Are you sure that that's where the sucking void is? Because I'm pretty sure it's probably in your living room right now, and you're the one that's probably gonna have to clean it up. I felt creepy even thinking about that. I stepped away from the edge, back to safety. Suddenly, I heard voices from behind. Hey! How do I unfold your sofa? Like I said, we're gonna have to clean that up. There's a button down there, you won't miss it. Aren't you gonna join Nobu? Oh, hello. Mari was a few steps away, looking detached. She was staring down at her feet and shaking. You're freezing, Mari. Go inside. You know, she sobbed. Listen, you're drunk. You want me to help you inside? No. As you wish. She took a deep breath, then another one, and another one. For the next 2 minutes, Mari was panting, trying to collect her thoughts. Hey. Eh? Mari sounded like she was on the verge of tears. Sorry, but I won't be able to help if you don't tell me what's wrong. Help me? Her voice suddenly sounded hysterical. I became alert. Oh no, are you freaking out? Are you freaking out? Like, am I gonna have to counsel you through this? It's too damn late for any help. Let's go, Mari. I took her by the elbow and led her away from the balcony. It's cold. She didn't resist, only mumbled something to herself. A dark silhouette at the door blocked our way. Hell are you screaming for? I'm trying to sleep here. Hey, she didn't bother you, did she? She does. Tell me right away. Murray's not the one who's the bother here. Just have her get some sleep, Nobu. She's totally wasted. Fine. I let go of Mari's shaking hand and she obediently followed Nobu. I went to my room and closed the door. Weren't we supposed to get money off of him? I decided to check the room where my guests were situated first thing in the morning. I braced myself for the worst and knocked. Coming in. I opened the door and saw something bizarre. The bed was neatly made and the dishes, which we left on the table, were now in the sink. I came closer just to discover that almost all of them were washed clean. The rag lied near the dishes, still wet. There was an envelope on the table in the living room. A single dish was left beside it, still warm. When did they leave? Say appeared on the screen. She opened one of her eyes slightly and yawned in a dramatic way. When did they leave? Who? Stop feigning ignorance, Mari and Nobu. When did they leave? You probably mean the pair that you never introduced me to? If so, they left about an hour ago. Oh, come on. Don't tell me you're upset about this. Of course I am. I imagine you told them that you live alone. I'm sure you did. God, it's really hard to be mad at her, honestly. Don't you understand just how dangerous your existence is for me? I mean, no offense, but I have to hide you. Especially from idiots like Nobu. Okay, got it. Not taking offense was one of the traits Sei developed by herself. Looks like she studied human relationships well enough to come to a conclusion that you can live without consistently getting offended. In that regard, she was already above most humans, perhaps myself included. Nevertheless, she sure likes to banter. I have no choice but to close my eyes to that. What are you up to today? Well, let me think. Are you gonna go to that gambling sector again? She reads my mind like an open book sometimes, like the kitty cat smiley, honestly. It's very cute. Yeah, I am. I know what you're about to say, but just know that I'm doing this for you. Once I have enough money to sustain you and I for the rest of our days, I'll stop, I promise. I mean, then that won't take long. It's just gambling. How long could it take to, accrue a lifetime of funds? Seems like an easy baby task. Let me do it for you. I tried to come off as almost romantic to say that time. You dummy, just go already. Seems I hit her right where it counts. My feed brought me to the Eastern Trading Sector, one of the most bustling areas of the city. You may think it's the least suitable place for making shady deals, but Hung assured me that it's the safest choice when it comes to making exchanges. According to him, there were no surveillance devices except for the cameras on the central streets. At first, I had my doubts, but since I'd never met a single drone or policeman for all this time, I calmed down. I guess the idea is that with so many witnesses around, there isn't a need to divert as much resources here. I came out to an intersection. Well, I came out to my parents. I mean, if you want, you do you, but that's what you want to do. Now that I've had enough money on me, I knew what I came here for. I decided not to gamble the money Nobu lent me. I couldn't risk losing it. I really wanted to get another memory module for Sei. Less importantly, I didn't want to know, I don't want to know Nobu's gonna do when he finds out that I can't pay him back. But I guess it's enough getting sentimental. It was time to drop some money off for Hung. I followed the usual route, trying not to look suspicious. Not that anyone gave a shit about me in the first place, but still. Despite the streets being often packed, people don't pay any attention to each other. I walked the crowded Broadway for a while and turned a corner to an inconspicuous alley. With my remaining money, I bought a few packages of frozen soybean paste and a bottle of non-alcoholic beer. The backpack put too much pressure on my shoulders, so I decided to find a nice place to have some rest. I left the bustling part of the district behind and moved to a narrow alley next to the station. I noticed a quiet place near a coffee vending machine and finally dropped the annoying backpack. My shoulders were so grateful that they ached even more. I bought a coffee and sat back on the bench, stretching my legs. The majority of businesses in this sector will close in an hour. Hung will take the money from the package I left and replace it with a brand new memory module, and all I'll need to do is go get it. The sky slowly grew darker. Pale gray it turned to, just gray. Not even close to a beautiful sunset with a mix of red and orange. The city hadn't seen anything like that in years. All we saw was the eternal twilight. That's where the city got its name, Nightfall 04. Though some cultured people, such as myself, prefer to use its nickname, Twilight Town. Get your title drop literally like an hour into the game. Yeah, there were other cities with similar names, but that's a different story. I see what you did there. I see what you did. I was looking at the sky. The coffee in my hands gave a pleasant feeling of warmth. Steam rose from it and tickled my nose lightly. In moments like that, I always try to clean my mind from any anxious thoughts and relax. Considering just how much happened both around and inside me, this is the least I could do. Streetlights began to turn on one by one. The city was both falling asleep and waking up. I woke up just 4 hours ago, so that scene seemed eerie and unnatural to me. Yeah, Tomato Town. All the monorails took off simultaneously. As if they had been waiting for a signal, every light danced around, creating a giddy and yet cozy vibe. Well, that's surprising. It's unusual for such a scene to catch my attention. I guess it's just my soul seeking salvation from everything. Be it the waltz of the city lights or a lone girl before my eyes. Hey! I saw you in a screenshot for the video game! It's nice of you to finally make an appearance! I had wondered where you might be! A delicate-looking girl stood in front of me, swaying her hands behind her back. She had this out-of-world snow-white hair and innocent eyes brimming with childish curiosity. She just stood there and stared into the distance. As soon as she realized that I'd noticed her, she suddenly jumped up and began looking at me happily. Hello? $5,000 for a blowjob, 15 for sex, 30 to let you do anything you want with me. All right, let's go! Huh? I was dumbfounded. She was a hooker soliciting sex from me. Look, do you want to fuck or not? My prices are really good compared to what you get from those state-sanctioned brothels. And don't worry, I'm over 20 years old. Why not just work at those instead of approaching random strangers for offers for sex? See, that's the thing. I was about to until I read the fine print on the contract. The damn thing said I had to share 30% of all my earnings. Okay, that's fucked. First, the customers pay for my services and a tax on top of that. Okay, then on top of that tax, I have to give 30% of my revenue to the government. A bit much, don't you think? Yeah, but no, it doesn't end there. On top of that, I still have to report my salary after all that and still pay taxes on top of it. It's taxation all the way through. It's theft. I refuse to support it. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I didn't know these types of beliefs were legal, let alone circulating through some people's minds. Anyway, as you were saying, isn't it like dangerous to do this? You know, you're a lot safer in here than out there. Plus, the government really doesn't like competition. I'm quick-witted and street smart. I can more than handle myself out here. It's the hill I'm willing to die on. Besides, no one wants to commit crimes in public-ish areas like this. Geez, either street smart or just really stupid. I'm not sure if I want to find out which. Wouldn't the, brothels bring you more clients than out here all by yourself? For any other woman, sure. But I'm creative. What do you mean? Are you, special? I may be slightly autistic. Her womanly charms were second to none. But no, wait. That's not what I mean. I can do so much more than you can normally find. I'm not sure I wanna. For example, I'm really good at roleplay. I can do the whole broken Samil thing where I just lay on the side of the alley and you could take me home and nurture me and make me feel like I belong somewhere and matter in life. And then eventually we both get attached to each other after years of living with one another, and then you slowly fuck me while I look deep into your eyes one day. What do you think? I'm dressed this way. Why do you think I'm dressed this way after all? Here, watch my broken Samil impression. I gotta give her credit. This is a good impression. It's a very specific fantasy. You are not wrong. Well, Okay. Not really your thing? I understand. Well, how about Oh, you play video games? I can just suck your dick randomly out of nowhere. Isn't that really hot? I can't imagine what Say or Mason would say if I were to bring a girl like this home with me. Come to think of it, I think they would actually kind of like that. Truly, I surround myself with good people who only have my best intentions at heart. Yeah, Mai became May. Before I can even formulate roleplay, she brazenly interrupts me again. But, oh, also, not your thing? Well, that's okay. We can work something out. I'm pretty flexible, literally. And metaphorically, too. Well, I must say, these things you describe do sound enticing enough. The woman's eyes lit up like a Christmas tree, which is appropriate because we are in the Christmas season, as you may be able to tell from my current attire. She's not gonna like what comes next. Really? So no, sorry, I'm just not ready to take on something like that at the moment. Maybe next time, though. Oh well, that's okay. It's your choice. I have never seen someone so disappointed about not being able to suck someone's dick until now. It's one of those real good visual novel text boxes that you just gotta stop and admire for a moment. I'm really happy with that one. In fact, I'm gonna hold here for just a second. I'll be right back. I gotta step out for just like a minute or two. So we'll hold on this. Have you ever seen someone so disappointed about not being able to suck someone's dick until now? How's it going, Millie? You got the screenshot? You go, girl. Okay, but do you have, like, some food? Because I'm pretty hungry and I haven't been able to find much work today. Yeah, I do. Give me a second. I reach out into my backpack and hand her a pack of soybean paste I bought earlier. Well, we're nice. We're at least nice to hookers, and I appreciate that. You haven't looked in a mirror before. We're nice to hookers. I like that. I like that we are very clearly sex worker positive. What? There's something wrong? Is this soy? Yeah. Ugh, soy, really? Well, beggars can't be choosers. Thanks a lot. Well, I can already tell this should be a lot of fun to banter with. I don't often meet cool people like her, so I'd best give her a way to keep in touch. I'm just gonna give random hookers my phone number. We should all do that. We should all give random hookers our phone number. I had a random girl, like, text me nudes this summer because apparently she met somebody at a mall. They gave her my number and she just started sending me nudes. And I was like, yo, I'm not that person. I am so very sorry. That ain't me. The one cool girl in town and she got a food allergy. I also don't often give people my contact info because of the shady stuff I often engage in, but I think my secrets are safe with her, maybe. While she slurps up the soybean paste in a way that makes me wonder if she's still trying to convince me to take her home, I ask her something. I was about to say, like, the way you worded that was very... Yeah, it was that very rare, please don't send me nudes. It just felt kind of sad because she was like, well, do you want to talk anyway? And I'm like, no, I'm sorry. I know that I have seen you naked and this was not my choice, ma'am, but, I don't know that that's a ride I want to get on. So, you come here often? Yes, actually. So, but if you want to always keep in touch whenever, you know, just in case you impulsively change your mind, we can exchange numbers. Don't worry though, I promise I won't trace your number to find out where you live and solicit you for sex. Unless you're into that, of course. I can't say that I am, but I'll still give you my number. Sure. I got just the thing. A holiday postcard. It looked handmade. And the one who made it was none other than this girl, wearing a silly smile on her face. I took a closer look, where there were a few blank fields with captions beside them, name, address, and so on. This girl fixed her eyes on the card in her hands, clearly expecting me to do something with it. Don't tell me she wants me to write down my address or something for her. I gave her a dubious look. She sighed dramatically, snatched the card from my hands, and began rummaging through her pocket again. Begging the belated if the thing is taking someone who sent me unsolicited nudes where I draw the line. Yes! Banging the mail ladies where, you know, that's different. Me and the mail lady had a connection, right? We had an established history of contact, and then things just happened. I don't know random lady from the mall who ran into some guy who gave her my number. The mail lady's different. Sorry, that's a different kind of card for extra special people. Finally, she handed the card back, still mumbling something to herself. I noticed the design was different this time. I looked over the card except for a number. It was all painted over with a marker, so the text was no longer legible. All the text except one line. Phone. It was the only field the white-haired girl left for me. Much better. I proceeded to punch in my number and handed back the card. I see you got a box that's dildo-sized and weighted. Well, that's that. I'll see you around. It's nice meeting you. Mm-hmm. You too. Shit! I missed my train stop. I have to find a way to walk back home now. That girl. In the end, she managed to get my phone number. I don't remember the moment very well, though. It felt like I was hypnotized. I almost feel like an idiot for giving my number to essentially a stranger. Much less a hooker. But I guess I shouldn't feel too bad about it. I guess her services might come in handy one day. They might! Her services might just come in handy someday. I can't believe I also nearly forgot to get the memory module for sale on the way back, too. Oh well. I hope I don't get too lost on the way back home. I turned another corner and finally saw the familiar block. I stopped to catch my breath. To be honest, I was starting to think that I would have to wander these unfamiliar streets for another hour or two. The backpack was still tugging hard on my shoulder, but it didn't bother me that much. My legs ached way more. I approached the block and checked the surroundings for a certain annoying lady. Bumping into her and getting showered with questions and stupid jokes was the last thing I wanted this time. I made sure the area was, as they say, clear and paced to the elevator. Ah, if only it was that easy. Hey, it's my... Did you shit yourself or something? And what makes you think I shit myself? Why are you frozen in place then? Okay, you really want to know? I'm waiting for your fat ass to leave this room so I can go up to my apartment. Felt like someone had just flipped a switch in my head. It was the first time in a while that I decided to take her on. I never reduced myself to her level before. I don't know, that feels like a really mean thing to do. I don't think Mai's been all that mean to us. The baseline makes you go into hot-blooded by four. Yeah. But this time I was driven by some stupid youthful excitement. Maya-san was round-eyed in amazement. She clearly didn't expect such a turn of events. Still, she was eager to accept the challenge. Whoa! Looks like you found at least one of your balls. Maya-san, Maya-san! I smirked. Seems like switching from defense to offense was a smart move. I've already heard that joke, Maya-san. Don't lose your notepad where you store all the jokes. Her face clearly showed that she had been taken aback. Time to finish her off. Well, whatever. I feel sorry for you. So let's pretend nothing happened, okay? That's your shine off? Like, that's your... This guy sucks. This guy sucks so bad. I marched past her and was about to go to my apartment, but... You little... She suddenly charged at me. Hey, violence is against the rules! It looks like Maya-san was too proud to let me win. She lost the battle of words, so she had to resort to violence to get the upper hand. I did my best trying to escape her relentless hand. To be honest, it was way harder than fending off her stupid jokes. Maya-san's physical strength was nearly unrivaled, so it was a matter of time before I would have missed the fatal hold. You done, son! You done! Maya-san clutched my neck with her right arm and began ruffling my hair with her left hand. While her right arm was holding me down with the strength of a bear trap, her left hand's touch was surprisingly soft. Maya-san? What? You get what you deserve, Ikuro! You're a man now! Gosh, what's wrong with you? You're not my mom after all! Maya-san's hand froze for a moment. Yeah, you're right. She instantly lost all of her ardor and let me go. It sure is hard to follow her mood changes. Okay, kid. I still have some adult business to attend to, so I gotta go. Sure thing, my son. It was time to carry out my revenge. As soon as Maya-san turned her back to me, I smacked her ass with enough force for her to feel it. She didn't seem taken aback by it. As a matter of fact, she didn't even turn around. See you later, Ikuro. Maya-san hurried to the elevator. I watched her leave, my mind full of mixed feelings. Yeah, right? Look, that's Maya-san's job. I'd be one of her clients. I'm into that. Did you miss us having sex with Mai? This is the last time schoolwork because of a poly stream. No, we did not have sex with Mai, but we just smacked her ass. We did get propositioned by a hooker, and then we gave her our number. And also, I feel it should also point out, I have no idea what this story is doing at all, if it's doing anything. Like, literally nothing has happened. Hey, not there! Why can't you keep silent for just a moment? Don't tell me how to do my job. How can I be silent? At least practice a little before sticking your hands everywhere. You stay quiet. I heard the familiar click. The memory module was finally installed into the slot. I jumped up from the floor and struck a triumphant pose, only to feel a sudden burst of pain in my back. Isn't that the oppressive nature of cyberpunk future? Nothing we really do matters. It really makes you think. Oh, shit! How many times have I cursed myself for not organizing Say's room properly? Now I have to overstrain my back each time I need to access a cable or a slot. Come to think of it, she could fit into a cardboard box just a few months ago. Now she takes up the whole damn storeroom. You're a total jerk, Ikuro. Try this again and I... Hey, easy, calm down. Where's my thanks, by the way? First tell me how you're going to pay back debt. Sorry, I'm sorry. Say's voice had overtones I'd never heard before. Ikuro, It's okay, Say. I'm sorry too. I'll figure something out. I'll go get some sleep now. If only I could. If only I could hug you, I'd definitely do it. What? Huh? Well, I mean, to comfort you. I didn't mean anything serious, so yeah. Yeah, it's the anime emoticon. Hello, KBX, the Game Master. How you doing? Thanks for stopping by. How you doing? Hope the evening/weekend are treating you well. Appreciate you stopping by. We're playing a game where we may or may not be in love with our computer. I don't know what's going on. This game's story has been very weird. You doing good? I'm glad to hear that. Happy to hear it. Enough, Say! I felt my chest tightening from sadness. I was almost fighting back tears. I was always ready for these words. I always was. But they still caught me off guard. Someday, Say. Someday. Oh. She X'd out. She done. I slept through past afternoon again and spaced out for most of the day. So I had nothing to do. I just sat on the floor, sipped beer, and watched TV. It's the ideal Sunday. Why he dating a computer? He ain't got nobody else. This guy's prospects are pretty low. He's got a gambling addiction. He did give his phone number to a hooker. So there's that. We traded information. We traded contact info with a hooker. So I'd say we're on our way to understanding this friendship thing. Say was silent. From my previous experience with her, I knew she was probably busy consuming new information, making use of her brand new memory module. I try not to disturb her on days like these, even though sometimes I really miss her. The watch's display showed 5 p.m. It was the usual scenery outside, monorails that kept sweeping by and dimly illuminated streets. There was some sort of utter nonsense running on TV. Looks like I've been watching a children's show for the last few hours. He's watching Nick Jr. Face here. Wow, I didn't even notice. Suddenly, I heard a familiar melody from the kitchen. It was my phone. Don't tell me. Yo, is the hooker calling us? Yeah, Stickly, baby! No, she'd probably send a text message. I grabbed the phone and looked at the screen. Come out! I know you're here anyway. Shit. Oh, hello. Did anyone see you? No. Are you sure? If you mean that busty door woman of yours, don't worry. We came to an agreement. I nearly started choking. Relax. I didn't reveal anything important. Let's say the conversation was more specific. I was perplexed. By coming here, Hung has violated our agreement. I know what you're thinking, Ikuro. Trust me, I wouldn't pay you a visit without a good reason. I gave Hung an inquiring look. The fake, mysterious attitude of his was getting on my nerves. Do you need to come in or something? Nah, out here is good. Weird choice to have a discussion out here. This also meant we had to use somewhat discreet language since we were standing right outside some cameras. All right, what do you need? I really hope it wasn't what I think he's gonna say. Listen, I can't give you any more of the things for. I can't give you any more of your things for you. Not for a while, anyway. My heart absolutely sank when I heard him say that. Wait, what? Why? Lower your voice. Sorry. It's business. I have people following me. I think they want me dead. I immediately took a more sympathetic tone. Oh? What kind of people? I may have stepped on some of the wrong toes the other day, which some really sketchy people. I swear, I almost died trying to drop off that thing for you. Some of this sounded a bit too far-fetched, but I know Hung was telling the truth. I am his source of income, after all. That's why I needed you to come here. I know no one would try anything in front of these cameras. Hung was getting tenser by the moment. I needed to calm him down somehow. All right, I believe you. Listen, just lay low for a while and... Oh, okay. That's probably fine. Oh. Hello? Video game? Are we okay? Whoa! What is happening? Hello, video game? Are you good? Are you having a moment? The shot's echo was yet to subside. My ears were absolutely ringing, and I could feel blood trickle down from them thanks to the sheer noise. I tried moving, but I could barely control my body due to the strong shock it experienced. What the hell happened there? I don't know what happened. That was weird. It just kept repeating the same thing, and all I was doing was left clicking. I tried moving, but I could barely control my body due to the strong shock it experienced. I only managed to turn over and rest my back against a brick wall. The first shot hit its mark. Hung's body was almost unrecognizable. I tried my hardest not to look at the bloody corpse that was lying nearby, but my eyes just kept going back to it. Yeah, that wasn't anything. Like, it would bring up the text and then it would, like, roll back or something. Like, it was hung up. I don't know. Like, I didn't do anything different there. I was just left clicking. The scene was so revolting, I felt like I was either about to throw up or start sobbing. Every second of it was unbearable. I screwed up my eyes and suddenly reached out to the body in hopes of finding some sort of weapon. Come on, you've got to have had something on you, Hung. Another shot rang out. A bullet pierced the dead body just a few inches away from my hand. I felt viscous warmth on my fingers, so I immediately yanked my hand back. Is this really the end? Say, I'm sorry. I could barely make out who the shooter was. Was there more than one, or was I just seeing double out of shock? Before I could make a desperate attempt to call for help, I was alarmed by yet another loud noise. Criminal activity detective. Police have been notified and are on the way. You will be prosecuted. The suspect, or suspect silhouette, immediately vanished, and I was finally left alone. Thanks, Sophia. Save? Okay. It's been about a day since the... Weird? That is a weird... I still don't know what's going on in this game. It's been about a day since that incident happened. The police didn't even bother asking any questions. I guess the cameras and the drones told me more than they ever could. Most remarkably, the bullet just grazed my shoulder. So all I needed was a simple first aid kit, which Maya-san was more than happy to help me with. Though the ringing is still there if I listen closely enough. Oh, just in case it crashes or something. Gotcha. The case is still ongoing, though the guy didn't seem to go after me, and I'm not too concerned with that. Although I do feel bad for Hung. I was never particularly close to him. I'm just glad to be home with... Ikuro! That's right. I'm just glad I could see Sei again. Nothing else matters as long as I have her. You dummy! Were you really just going to die and leave me all alone? Of course not! You were the first thing on my mind before I thought I was a goner. Don't ever get involved with shady people again. It wasn't exactly my fault. Actually, it was literally all my fault. Get a real job, pay off your debts, and trouble yourself no more with strange people. Memory modules are not worth your life, you hear me? While Sei was still ranting and crying at the same time, I pondered her words. Maybe she was right? There's no way I can pay off the money Nobu lent me and afford a new memory module for Sei every month if I keep this up. But there's no way I can get a memory module every month with an entry-level job. I tried every shady, backhanded, and illegal method before, and gambling is too unreliable in the long term. What to do? While I was pondering, Sei was still ranting and raving towards me. Ikuro, I'd soon rather grow a pair of robotic legs and sell my own body before I let you come into harm's way again. Suddenly, an idea struck me. Wait, what? Sei, what did you just say? You heard me. If I have to sell myself to keep you safe, then I'll do it. That's it. Like you say, I've got just the idea. I rummaged through my backpack in search of what I'm looking for. Ikuro, what are you doing? You're starting to scare me. Don't worry, Sei, I have just the thing. I got it. Oh dear. I finally found the postcard with a number on it to call it. It only rang for a few seconds. Yes? Hey, remember me? We met a few days ago in the... Oh yes, of course I do. What do you need? Did you change your mind? Well, I was hoping you could stop by my place and that we could come to a business agreement. I assure you it'll be fair for both of us. Ooh, sounds like fun. I'll stop by your place. I already know where you live, so just sit tight. This woman. Ikuro, what are you doing? A business partnership? With who? Don't worry, Say. If it all goes right, I won't even have to stop. I won't even have to step out of the house anymore. And besides, I can introduce you to one of my friends that I've made. Her tone immediately changed as soon as I said that. There it is! You mean you won't have to hide me anymore? Nope. I think I can trust this person. As a matter of fact, I think that they'd even be happy to see you. Yay! I can't wait to meet them. I hope they treat you well. We'll see about that. After waiting a short while to say, I heard a knocking on the motherfucker. I'll be right back. Give me a second. I have to take a call. Motherfucker. Flushed my phone down the fucking toilet. Anyway, after waiting a short while, I heard some knocking on the front door. Ikuro, someone's at the door. Okay, they're here already? Just sit tight and I'll introduce them to you. I open the door and am greeted by, well, you guessed it. Hey, I'm so glad that you thought about me when it came to a partnership. Trust me, I think we can work something out very nice between each other. I mean, I'm usually loath to take on business deals. Hey, I'm glad. Hey, but if you're gonna take a low percentage like 10%, then that's all good with me. But to be honest, I can be talked up to 20% with the way things are. By the way, nice apartment. Nice apartment you got here. I can live here with you while we're at it. What the? I mean, I'm pretty much homeless and I need a place to stay because business is really slow and I hate sleeping in bathroom stalls and at the mall. Oh, speaking of which, do you think you can get some of that busty doorkeeper of yours in on this? What? Because she's got a really fat ass and I think she really likes you. So honestly, she'd probably go for it if you just ask her nicely enough. Oh, and by the way, what kind of business ideas do you have in mind? I wrote down a few on the way here. Yeah, we have a pet girl. This is the hooker we met and gave our contact info to. Oh, and do you have anything to eat as well? Because I'm absolutely starving. I think any longer and my body's gonna start to eat itself for nutrients, which I think is an actual thing it does. Well, before we go any further, there's something you need to know about me. Ooh, kinky, aren't we? Well, don't worry, I'm non-judgmental. It just kind of comes with this line of work. All right, time to introduce yourself. Wait, you consider me your friend? Awesome! Ikuro, she's so cute. I love her hair. If you keep her around too long, I'm gonna be so jealous of her. Whoa, is this an AI? Are you sure there isn't a person behind this? You know, like Alice of Oz, or was it called The Wizard of Wonderland? She really is. I think you mean Alice in Wonderland. The girl's eyes brightened up, absolutely amazed at Say's speech and ability to remember seemingly trivial things. In that regard, you could say Say was in fact a lot like a human. And nope, I'm a bona fide AI-only companion, though I do wish I had a body like Ikuro's. Dude, Ikuro, why don't you, get a corpse or something and stick her AI computer chip brain thingy on top of it? I know, right? That's what I've been saying. I don't care what it is, I just want a body, even if it's like a goddamn TV on wheels. Don't worry, I'll carry you above my head and show you all around town. Yay! Ikuro, I really love this person. Thank you for introducing her to me. Well, it seems like it was the right thing to do. To be honest, I shouldn't be too surprised these two get along like peas in a pod. So, what's the deal between you two? Is she like your virtual wife or something? Do you have some sort of strange infatuation for her to the point to where you literally risk your life for her well-being? Or is this too much of an uncomfortable topic to talk about? I understand if you're not there yet with me, so respond with and I'll just change the topic right away. Got it. Oh, well, I gotta play with Say more if you don't mind. How cute. Be my guest. Suddenly, I heard my phone buzzing in my pocket. Shit, it's Nobu. I forgot I had borrowed money from the parts I needed. How did you forget that? That's not something I feel that you could forget. It's a little bit, I will say. I'm still not seeing the point of any of it so far, unfortunately. It's a good time. I just don't know that there's any point to any of it. But I can't stop ignoring my problems when things get hard anymore, so I hesitantly picked up the phone. Yo, Ikuro! Hey, Nobu. Jesus, man, what's been going on? You think I wouldn't find out? I took a second to gather my thoughts and decided to explain the situation to him. Look, Before I could say anything more, Nobu brazenly interjected. A shooting? Are you okay? You had me and Mari worried. You worried fucking sick. My tone immediately changed. Sorry, I wanted to call you two about it, but I still owed you money, so it was kind of awkward. Money? What money? Oh, nah, don't worry about that, dude. Just pay me back whenever. Really? Yeah, you know, when you lend money to your friends or your family, you should consider that money pretty much gone. Think of it as a bonus when it comes back. He did see his friend get blasted in front of him, but I don't understand why. I don't know what's going. I mean, I understand why probably, but I don't know. Everything just kind of feels really hand wavy. If I saw somebody get shot, I'd probably be way more fucked up about it. Yeah, the way you forgot about Nobu. Okay, I got you. How many cute anime girls can we... Yeah, your feelings are pretty much on the... Okay. I don't really know what to say other than thanks. I'll return the money whenever I can. Yeah, call me if you need anything. Hey, how are things with Mari? Oh shit, yeah, Mari. She's so important that I keep forgetting to capitalize her name. Look, man, you know how hard it is to put a label on these things in this shithole of a town. That's right, words like girlfriend, lover, wife, husband, we capitalized all those, but not her name. They're not often used around here. I guess using them somehow became a sign of weakness, or maybe too many broken hearts and people not want to be vulnerable anymore. Yeah, but you care for Mari, right? She talked to me about what happened with you and her last night, and look, I think I should do a better job of treating her right. What happened with us last night? She literally didn't do anything. We literally had a nothing burger conversation where she looked over my balcony for 2 minutes. I see. Were you able to figure out what's bothering her? I think I need to come over to your place to talk about that. It's better when I know the only ears listening will be yours. Sounds good. Give Mari my regards. Yeah. I think I misjudged the guy. He's not really that bad after all. Should hang out with him more. While I was talking to him on the phone, it looks like Sei got even more connected with a certain someone. Oh my gosh, Ikaro, you've been doing all this shady shit just so Sei could have some memory modules? Although I don't expect them to know each other, to know each other quite quickly. It's a bit of a long story, but yeah, I am. That's it. I shall work extra hard to make your dreams come true. I'll work double shifts. I'll suck twice the dicks for half the amount of money. I'll let everyone spit roast me for peanuts. Nah, screw peanuts. I'll take the shells. Whatever it takes to make you guys happy. I'm like the female equivalent of a nice guy. The female equivalent of a simp. I'm a pink knight. Pick me, girl. But a pick me, girl. But I have to ask. I didn't know words that were still a thing anymore. What would you like to know? Why does Sei need extra memory modules? I don't really understand it. Machines can only store a limited number of memory before running out. But unlike machines, as humans, we automatically or subconsciously decide what kind of things we should remember and what things we forget in about 5 minutes. It's part of what makes us, well, human. Machines cannot do that at the moment. It's really hard for AI to discern what kind of information needs to be discarded and what needs to be kept. Therefore, the only workaround is to equip them with an absolutely ridiculous amount of memory in order to help their self-learning algorithms grow more effectively. For example, simials or simulated humans have more memory than they would ever need in their lifespan, and that's a big part of why they cost so much. Obviously, I don't have such resources for Sei, and I can't really try to delete some of her existing memory to make room because whatever is in those memory modules is more than just a few kilobytes of text. It's a bunch of advanced algorithms and calculations that take into account all sorts of things, such as context and situational analyses, right? I had my suspicions, but she really was smarter than she was letting on. Well, that's correct. Trying to remove memory from her is a more complicated process than one would initially think. Well, don't worry, because I'm on the case. After talking to Sei for a whole 5 to 15 minutes, I know I want what's best for her too. And when she finally gets a nice fleshy body, maybe we can have a threesome! Or you can just stand back and record it. That's fine by me as well. Well, I appreciate your support, to say the least. I can't even begin to imagine how hard and expensive it'll be once we try to give Sei a body, let alone more memory modules, but one step at a time, I guess. Well, lots of work to do. I guess I'll start whoring myself out now. See you later. She bolted out the door with her newfound enthusiasm. After drinking some tea, I decided to head back and talk to Mai-san again. She needed to talk to me more about the incident, understandable to say the least. Back in the apartment lobby, Mai-san seemed to have been anxiously waiting for me. Is there something? Shh, just wait. Before I could respond, a somewhat familiar jingle popped up on the radio. Good morning, sinners and fuckers alike! We have a rather exciting news today. A shooting. This time it was around the apartment complex known for its sketchy as fuck low-income residents. 2 men were seen having a conversation just outside of the building when all of a sudden they were shot by an assailant in a black veil. The police drones were eager to intercept and apprehend the shooter, but, get this, he lit himself on fire. Amazingly enough, the drones were equipped with water cannons. He was extinguished in a matter of milliseconds. But our would-be killer didn't give up. Just before he was tased and incapacitated, he swallowed some sort of pill and he fucking melted! Reduced to nothing but a puddle of goo, there was no way his brain could be scanned now. I guess that's what you have to do if you truly want to get away with murder nowadays. The 2 men managed to survive, but one of them is in critical condition. He'll probably be fine. He'll probably be fine, though. Isn't our technology wonderful? Holy shit, Hung's alive? I guess I shouldn't be completely surprised. We live in a world where the blind can see, the disabled can walk, and the mute can speak. You can see all the footage of the entire incident directly on our website. It's quite the sight. Great, I'm most definitely on some sort of watch list now. Either way, sounds like some shady shit is going around in the area. I wouldn't touch it with a 6-inch pole if I were you. I gotta say though, I feel bad for the landlord. If I were her, I'd kick the fuck out of the tenant responsible for bringing this shit in. Speaking of the landlord, have you seen the size of her titties? And oh my god, her ass! That's a penis joke. It absolutely is. My-san turned off the radio and gave me a stern look. I think that's a pretty good idea. I always knew you were up to no good, but this is just going too far. I can't have you doing this. Your selfish actions are putting everyone in danger. What if the next guy you cross comes along and torches the entire floor on fire? I've got enough shit to deal with as is. I've never seen Mai-san this upset. Well, we know we're mad at her now. We know that we don't think very much of her because we've stopped capitalizing her name as well. She had every right to be this way, though. Still, though, there was a very good chance that I'm going to end up homeless for a bit. Before I can defend myself, Mai-san continued to talk. If something like this ever happens again, consider yourself gone. Did I hear that right? She's giving me another chance? Then, shut up! Get out of my face! What would Ikura think? Ikura? She'd just say my mother's name? How the hell does she know my mother? I gave Maya-san a deer-in-the-headlights look before I decided to go back to my room. Boy, I'm sitting here. I'm 2 hours into this visual novel. It is apparently very short. And I still feel as rudderless and adrift as I did an hour and 50 minutes ago. Guys, I don't know that there's much of a point to this visual novel beyond style and looking nice and like characters that could probably have been used in a better story. I'm buying time because I'm pouring myself a drink. Don't mind me. But I'm feeling like there's just nothing here. Like, I've played some nothing burger visual novels in my time. And this one is quickly approaching the top of that list. Like, one cool character is not going to save your story from being kind of bad. Like, I don't know. This is one of those things where I'm playing a game and it's just like, I hate that I feel this way, but I feel like I'm just wasting my time. Do you know how much longer there's left in this game, Beepner? Because I feel like if it's 30 minutes or more, I'm not going to continue. Like, I don't like being this way. I don't like not finishing games. But this game's kind of just been the biggest load of nothing. I'm close to the end. All right. We will soldier through. Yeah, it's just, this feels like a concept more than a game. Like, I feel like this is like, you've got a world here and you've got some characters, but like, you're literally doing nothing of interest with it. And if you are, you sure are taking your damn time getting there. And I understand that, like, okay, like, I've played Sigyod games in the past, and they're kind of pointless. They're kind of silly. They're but, like, this is a game where it's just like, okay, it looks like you're trying to do something serious here, and you keep writing it in a way that is supposed to be serious, but you're literally saying nothing. And you've literally said nothing for 2 hours. Yeah, this feel like it does say edited by Sigyod, but it is credited to Sigyod team. It's just, this has just been so pointless and just woof. This may be like one of the most boring visual novels I've ever read, despite having like an interesting concept. Anyway, about a day later, I was out on a walk to clear my head and got some ideas for what I could do next. There was no way I could rely on the girl alone for say. I had to think of something. I even tried smoking a pack to help relax, and yeah, that's obviously gonna do it. Spending more money on cigarettes will definitely get you closer to your goal of trying to figure this out. But I was at a complete loss. Suddenly, a familiar face appeared before me. Relax, Ikaro. We can talk here. Oh, thank God. Despite looking completely fine, Hung appeared to be more reserved than normal. That was understandable, to say the least.
He got fucking shot.
I suppose you have a lot of questions. Yeah, I do. Well, where do you start? Do you know anything about the guys who shot at us? Not that much, but we could only assume that they'd been tracking my activities somehow. We never saw them, and we'd only ever make deals in secluded areas. We knew we wouldn't be tracked. Okay, it kind of feels like someone really liked Valhalla a lot. Yeah, like without getting the point of it. Yeah. Apparently, if you're not reduced to a pile of goo, you can bring back the dead. Yeah. And based off of how badly we wanted to die, the shooter must have been working with an organization. The reports say he used a pill to dissolve himself. I didn't know such a thing even existed. Yeah, it causes the oxygen around you to literally melt you from the inside out. It's used primarily for melting down machines into their scrap components, but it works on humans too. It's sometimes used for suicide, and it's not unheard of for criminals to use it after doing particularly heinous things. Right, because there's no way you could run with surveillance and drones everywhere. Exactly. Even if you don't plan on talking, your brain will be scanned, and that'll pretty much tell the authorities everything they need to know. From this, we can conclude that our attacker was some sort of expendable grunt in an organization. You said that earlier, but they were after you, but why did the shooter fire at me too? Well, probably just some bad aim. I can't imagine your little side project causing trouble with anyone. I mean, it's called literally taking care of a witness. I mean, come on. You shoot somebody and somebody else there, you take out the fucking witness. I suppose that makes sense, though I figured you'd be in hiding right about now. Nah, I was just sending a message. How do you figure that out? As you just witnessed, it's really hard to kill someone with just guns or knives. That kind of tech we have with the kind of tech we have in this city, your body has to completely be shredded in order for your death to be a probability. Therefore, if they wanted to kill me, they'd have done something much, much worse. And what would that be? Don't worry about it. Hung probably knew a bit more about the organization itself, but it wouldn't do any good for me to know more about them. I mean, why would we need to know anything? I mean, it's a story. You don't need to know anything for stories to make sense. It's not me they were after, I suppose. Either way, I'm gonna lay low for as long as I possibly need to. So no more memory modules? Nah, dude, that stuff is over. You need to finish Valhalla at some point? Yeah, it is a far cry better than this video game, I'll tell you that much. Suddenly, Hung's body language changed drastically. But look, if you need a friend, I'm always down to hang out. I suppose Hung always thought I might not be the most social person, given what I was trying to do and all. My contact info is already on your phone, I believe. I'm a nice guy once you get to know me, you know. I don't know that I want to be hanging around people who are going to be getting shot at by people in an organization. I don't know that those are the kind of friends I'm trying to make. Likewise. And look, if I come across any legitimate opportunities, I'll be the first. You'll be the first person to know. I really appreciate this, but why are you doing this for me? Like-minded folk like us have to stick around. I still remember your post from the forum page. It resonated with me. I'm not sure I had the heart to tell Hung. I just made all of that up just to get his attention. I know you probably made most of all that stuff up just so you could get the parts you needed. Oh, well, I guess I don't have to tell you that then. Sorry. No need. The fact that you were willing to go through almost anything to get what you wanted, I admired. In that regard, I'm the same way too. So yeah, I think we should stick around. I can't say that I have any problems with that. Come stop by my house for a beer anytime, and I'll even introduce you to Say while I'm at it. Hey, you're alright, Ikuro. Take care now. You too. As Hung and I parted ways, I felt oddly happy and fulfilled. It felt nice to finally stop acting like we had something to hide for once. Maybe for once, I could build something decent after all. I figured it would be best to leave on a high note, so I headed home. Once again, I found myself in the comfort of my small yet oh so humble place. Say told me she was feeling rather tired, so I decided to let her hibernate for the day. Just as I was about to unwind and watch some anime from the early 2000s, I heard several little knocks on my door. Is that who I think it is? As I opened the door, was greeted by someone I've grown fondly attached to by this point, but still don't know her name. Oh my gosh, Shikoro, I am so sore in more ways than one. I had such a long day. I take it you managed to get your clients? Yep, just one though. It was a great start. It didn't go as well as I wanted to, but that's okay. You gotta learn to fail to succeed after all. What if her name is Girl? It might be. I mean, at this point, with as meaningless as everything is, her name might just be Girl. What happened? Are you okay? Well, everything was going fine. I was just starting my rounds near the train station looking for someone with a very sad look on his eyes. You know, the kind that knows he's gonna come home to a nagging wife and 3 kids and has to order takeout for food because his wife was too busy with the kids to cook and clean. Because, you know, those guys make excellent clients, I feel. I want repeat customers after all. Besides, anything to help sad or broken men feel a little bit better, even if it's only for a few minutes or for a few seconds, depending on how long they last. Anyways, I approached him and I totally dazzled him with my stunning looks and cute charms. Apparently, I was right on the money. He opened up right away and said that he was a divorcee with 2 kids and was anything I could provide him would help a lot. So I'm like, sure thing. I'll even do it for the first time for free. Why would... God damn it. Why? It doesn't make sense. Stop talking. Ugh! This game is driving me nuts, dude. I'm not finishing this game. No, I'm not. No, get out of here. I'm done. This game is bad. I'm out. No, I'm not finishing it. I don't care. I don't care. It's probably stupid anyway. There's nothing they could have said in 5 more minutes that would have made me care. What happens? Beatner, tell me what happens. I'll even jump in a Discord call if you want to tell me what happens. I'm just not doing it again. I don't care. But I'm more than willing to have someone just tell me what happens. Like, I will jump in Village Bicycle if you want to hop on. Yeah, the writing team needs to take a look at what they're doing and say, are we actually doing anything? In conclusion, 8.5. They all died on the way back to their home planet. Yeah, there you go. I don't know why. It's just like the hooker saying she did all the work for free. Like when she's literally signed up to do this to help us get money. It was just like, I don't know why that's the thing that broke me, dude. I don't even know why. Listen, man, I've just spent 2 hours reading out loud a visual novel that is literally did nothing for 2 hours. Ugh. I think Beepner's mad. He just left. I don't blame him. I'd be mad at this stream too. I just wasted everybody's time. I'm never gonna stream again, dude. You have to hook your stuff. Okay. I'll give you a second. I'll just watch for you to pop into the to the channel. We'll have an impromptu review session of Twilight Town, and you can tell me how it ends. Oh, lordy. Look who's quaranta. I do find it sad. Like, clearly there was some talent on this project, but they needed to take that talent back. Yeah, absolutely. They, like, what the hell, dude? You just, like, I don't know how you write. Okay, here we go. Hey! You're muted, by the way, just so you know. Unless you're still figuring your stuff out.
Oh,
hey, how's it going, BP?
So basically what happens is she's telling the story, and the guy whips out his dick, and she starts laughing so hard that, like, he gets pissed off and runs away, and they're like, why were you laughing at it? And they're like, was it weird looking? And she's like, no, I've never seen one before. And they're like, what?
That's it?
They're like, what? Are you a virgin? She's like, well, yeah, I just, like, read about them on the internet. Or she says she read a bunch of romance mangas, so clearly they weren't H-dojins where they show the dicks, or maybe they're so censored that she, like, you know, black box on it, not even a mosaic.
Like, that's really good, actually, but that's 2 hours is a long way to go for a really dumb dick joke. Or dumb non-dick joke, I guess.
And then that's pretty much the end. Like, Ikaru's just like, well, it's good to have friends, and then that's the end.
That's right. What the hell did we just go through, Beepner? I feel like I'm going insane.
So I will say two things. So on the title screen, the use of the word impunity. Because, like, all this bad shit happens, but, like, there's no consequences of it. Like, he doesn't owe Nobu the money. Hung's fine, and apparently, like, you know, even though, like, clearly he's probably going to have other people coming after him, and Mai would be like, she's made it clear that she's not okay with that, even though she, you know, probably should have thrown Ikaro out on his ass, but clearly there's something, like, she knows his mom, and she kind of acts like a, you know, a cool aunt toward him.
But, like, we get none of that in the story, right? Like, they just hide all of that for some reason. Like, I feel like we should know that there's, like, because I didn't really understand the relationship with Maya and what was going on, right? Because there's clearly, like, there's something here. Like, she's clearly tolerating him for some reason. But
So-
I feel like we should have known that there was a, like, it's like if Persona 5 happened, but you didn't know that, like, Sojiro knew Joker's parents or something.
It feels like a prequel, but like they had so many ideas in the outline and they didn't know if they were going to make a follow-up that they were just like, well, we got all these ideas, we got to cram them in there, even though there's no real through line.
Yeah.
Okay, so the second thing I will say, there is a follow-up, and it's a violent FPS, and I'm curious as to see how that's going to work out.
Yeah, I'm just
like literally, like every time you kill an enemy, they just explode into gibs.
Yeah, it looks
at least from the trailer that they posted
really...
on Steam and on Twitter.
It actually looks really fucking funny.
So I'm probably going to play that.
Yeah, you let me know how that goes. You let me know, like, if you glean anything from that. Because that's the reason that I checked out this VN, is because, like, the FPS kind of, like, looked really fun from the trailer.
Reading it casually, I didn't look at, like, how much Steam time I have on it, but I mean, you know, you can read it casually in less than an hour.
Yeah, like, if you're not sitting here, like, on a stream, like, interacting with people and reading it out loud and, you know, just kind of, there's a performance aspect here that, like, is part of my experience that wasn't for you, obviously. So you probably didn't come away from this as, like, negatively as I am, where I'm sitting here like, I've sat here reading this out loud for 2 hours and I got nothing. Yeah, that's just where I'm at. So it's like, to have those comparable experiences where you read it by yourself, and, like, I guess you maybe didn't probably have as strong a reaction as maybe I'm having.
No, I was just like, well, that was, yeah, it came to an abrupt ending and there was kind of no point, but, you know, knowing that the follow-up is what it is, and it's just like, okay, how the hell is this gonna,
how do you
how
go?
the hell are they gonna pick up after this, and being something like so totally different? It almost looks like it almost looks like Deus Ex meets Quake.
Yeah.
Like, and I know those two games like play so differently.
Oh, absolutely. But, like, yeah, like, those are the vibes. Like, it's definitely, like, I'm definitely willing to bet, like, oh, you bought an FPS Unity engine and then you made a game in it.
So I've got 67 minutes playtime on Steam.
Oh God, yeah, like in Twilight Town.
Yeah, in Twilight Town.
Yeah,
I haven't played the Cyberpunk FPS yet.
Okay. Yeah.
It's just called Twilight Town Cyberpunk FPS.
Yeah. I have 2.6 hours in Twilight Town. That's probably like 1.3 hours too many.
There's also a let me look it up so I can tell you.
Go right ahead.
Well, it's called I Am Sakia. It's a Toho first person shooter.
Oh right, yeah. I saw that. Yeah, like I think he did that before he did Twilight Town FPS.
And it looks like it's made. It looks like it's GZ Doom.
Yeah. It looks very Doomish, and that'd be interesting. I wonder if Twilight Town is like FPS-ish, like if it's a Doom wad as well.
But yeah,
yeah, it is what it is.
I don't know. It was a good hour's distraction. Sorry you had a poopy time with it.
Oh, it's like, I mean, I hung out with people. Like, so I'm not literally sitting here seething or anything. I'm not angry, but it's just like, also it's like I get to the end. Like the game just gets to a point though where it's just like, dude, no, I don't want to read anymore. Like, I
feel like the girl is in the wrong game.
Yeah, absolutely. Like
she belongs in one of the Card Sins. I mean, I haven't played the Card Sins RPG, but we did Dab on Darkness on stream, and it's like, you know, it's just like the same.
She needs to be in a game like
juvenile
that.
Humor, yeah.
Yeah, like she is absolutely a delight. Like, and it's just like, why isn't she in a much better game?
My inner darkness is a hot anime girl. I call it Card Sins RPG because that title is too long, but that's, you know, it's obviously they're like riffing on an isekai title.
Oh yeah. That game seems pretty dope too. Like I've actually talked to a couple of people that played that and it sounded really fun. Like it's silly. It's obviously, you know, in this same vein. It's in that same, you know, all of those VNs that they did and all that shit. But yeah, it sounds like it's a really good time. Like it's just a fucking silly little thing, and I'm all for that shit. But like, whatever this was supposed to be. Like, it's like a Flat Cap says, like, it almost feels like a test demo for a future full story. Yeah, it feels like it's game jammy, right? It's a game jam thing. Like, the theme was cyberpunk visual novel. Like, oh, okay. Well, you did that.
Oh yeah, but also like most game jam, even if they're VNs, it's like most game jam games aren't that long.
Yeah, this was way too long. Like, I don't know. I'm sitting here just kind of amazed that they wrote as much as they did, and it literally says nothing.
So a story about lies and impunity in the city of eternal twilight, written by Nikita Khrushchev. That's the
that's the author.
That's the subtitle on the on the
title screen. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't get any of that really.
Well, the impunity. I mean, because again, like obviously. Bad shit happens, but there are no like lasting
consequences whatsoever. What a weird thing. Like, yeah.
I mean, maybe the consequences are now we got to like run around like exploding everyone in the FPS. Maybe the bullets are that shit that turns people into liquid.
Right, like we found
That would be funny if that's like part of the lore, just to explain like why everybody gets jibbed so hilariously. Everybody gets jibbed.
Like fuck hit point systems. You just shoot guys and they jib because it's easier to explain away that way. Listen, it's hell of a lot
every bullet is quad damage.
Exactly. It's a hell of a lot easier to make enemies disappear by colliding with an object than it is to make a hit point system. As somebody who's made video games, I can say hit point systems can maybe be a little bit of a pain, but if you just make everything blow up in one hit, hey, easy peasy.
So I watched a little bit of Angry Ed play the new RoboCop game.
That game looks good.
A problem I've had with FPSs since Doom 3 and Quake 4, which is on that same id Tech engine version or whatever, and Rage, which Rage
just seems like the most nothing
fucking boring.
Yeah, it just seems like the most nothing burger FPS ever.
I just really hate how your bullets don't feel like they're damaging the enemies, and maybe that's more realistic, but also like they take too many hits, they kind of twitch around too much. It's just not satisfying to shoot them.
Yep.
And the RoboCop game looks like completely the opposite about that. I mean, there's just about everything. It's like dudes' heads explode and they just turn into like puddles of goo. And you can pick up dudes and like you just bolt them across the room.
Bolt them across the room. I played the demo for that game, and like at the time, it was unoptimized and garbage as fuck. So it was really hard to appreciate. But at the same time, it's like, oh, this feels like a game that is really taking those like old school FPS sensibilities, and you feel like everything you do fucking matters. Like every shot feels like it counts. Like,
I mean, the precedent is it's like it seemed like they couldn't make a good RoboCop game for decades. I mean, maybe RoboCop versus Terminator came close.
Maybe
there was like a bad one on the PS2.
Yeah,
and then it's like, oh, there's they made a new RoboCop game. Okay, and then like I saw it in action, I was like, I mean, I don't want to pay $60 for a game.
I'm not paying $60 for that game. No,
kind of want to play it,
but I will absolutely hey, you go on sale for like 50% off or something. I will absolutely pay $30 for that and play it. Like the demo that I played, like it wasn't optimized at all, and it felt kind of like garbage. But from what I understand, that they've kind of fixed it like with the actual game, but. I got that feeling. It's exactly what you're talking about. It's like, oh, this actually, like, the attacks that I'm throwing out feel really good. Like, you feel empowered as a player, and I feel that, like, FPSs have lost so much of that over the years. Dust is another really good one, too. I like Dust. I thought that one was really good.
Yeah, Dust is pretty good. Again, like, very quakey.
Yeah, I had a real and the map design in Dusk is incredible. Like there's some crazy bonkers shit they do.
Yeah, there's so many alternate routes and like secret levels and
just like there's like the Escher fucking map as well, where you're just like you're basically in an Escher room and it's just like you figure your way through that shit. It's incredible.
You've probably played this. It reminds me a bit of Rise of the Triad also.
Yeah,
just because of how like silly it is, which is I think where the term ludicrous jibs comes from.
Yeah. I love me some Rise of the Triad, and then like the remake is really bleh. Like they
Yeah, I
did,
didn't hear positive things about it.
yeah, they did a modern version of Rise of the Triad. It's like it tries and it almost gets there, but it has all of those same issues you were just talking about. How your attacks don't feel good, or like enemies don't react to your attacks in ways that make you feel good.
I know I mentioned Doom 3, but I first started noticing that in FPSs in BioShock.
BioShock, yep.
I mean, even like not even though.
And I
obviously,
like
the main things you're fighting in that are the big daddies, and they're walking tanks. They're not supposed to feel like you're actually doing anything to them. But it's like even the splicers. It's like just taking down the mooks in the game. It just feels like a chore. Quake 4 again probably had the problem with that. Rage's biggest problem also is just like boring to drive around in that stupid dune buggy just to like go in and take out another nest of guys. It's like when you got Borderlands right there, and it's just like, oh, everything just. Here's another stupid gun. It shoots missiles that freeze dudes and then they shatter on impact. Like, here, have fun, motherfucker. And, Rage. And then, like Garden was saying, Rage 2 just tried to be, like, all wacky because it's like, okay, we got to be legally distinct Borderlands now and get Andrew WK to do the voices and use all his music in the trailers. What do you do?
Like I like all the praise Doom 2016 gets, and I still feel like it has those problems where like enemies just feel too spongy, the weapons don't feel or sound satisfying at all.
I played the demo and it was okay. My computer at the time ran it like garbage, so that's probably one of the reasons I didn't get to it. And I just never had the desire to go back and give it a fair shot, or Sigil, or whatever the Doom Eternal, whatever the follow-ups were.
The follow-up was Eternal,
Well, we got off on a tangent about FPSs, but you didn't miss a whole lot. The
dick joke.
More dick talk. Yeah.
Look, man, we played the Looker this year. Had a way better dick joke ending. That's a good video game. Everybody
made a Warhammer 40K into a Doom clone. Oh yeah, what's it called?
I like the Warhammer 40K third-person shooter they did back in like 2012 or something. That game got some impact, baby.
They did a Gears of War like. Is that the one you're talking about? Isn't it third person?
But I think that game felt really fucking good to play. Like when you fucking laid into an enemy, it felt like you were laying into them. Like that's one of those like weird. Like I think even Bulletstorm like manages to feel good in a lot of ways. Maybe just me. I'm one of those people that actually thought Bulletstorm was a lot of fun.
Remember when Epic made games that weren't Fortnite?
God, yeah, right? All right. Well, I appreciate you like hooking up all of your shit and coming on to talk to me about this bullshit. It was nice to like. Yeah, I feel like we salvaged the stream. Like I was feeling kind of bad for dragging people through a bad video game, but I think we salvaged it in the end. Yeah. All right. Well, anything that you would like to say in conclusion?
Don't forget to dab on darkness.
Dab on darkness.
Whether it be, your own inner darkness or just the energy that people give you in life.
Yeah, baby. I'm gonna get in touch with Melly.
Not to get philosophical.
I'm gonna get in touch with Melly and then make my model be able to dab. I think that's what we need. That's what the world needs, right? Is a plushy dab.
You might have to like elongate the arms
a little bit, yeah. Make something work. We can make something work. I'll actually talk to her.
I think you'd need joints to begin with.
Well, I know Snooze has got like this, like the wave thing that he does. So I'm wondering if like maybe there's something we could look at there, because he's got like a cool. Like, yeah. Might be able to make that work. We'll see. Yeah, everybody, dab on darkness, and like we hope you all have a nice holiday season. Like I've got some more streams that I'm probably gonna try and do. What about you, Beepner? You got any cool things planned that you want to try and do?
We'll see.
We'll see.
I want to get into a genre that was a big part of my life like 20 years ago, and then I just haven't like done recently much.
Oh.
So I have something on order. We'll see how it works out.
Color me interested. Everybody, go follow
It's probably going to be boring as fuck in practice.
No! It's never boring. You've never done a boring stream, sir. Everybody
I
go
thought you
follow
were my
Beatman.
friend. That tells me you haven't been watching my streams.
I always try to catch your streams when I can.
I think it's funny. It's like, God, the last time I streamed was in June.
Oh, good lord. Yeah, that's a while.
And then it's like, oh my, yeah, okay. Like, that's my brand. I just never do it.
I did say in your shout out that your streams are sporadic.
Well, and even after the last one, I called my ISP and I'm like, hey, your upstream sucks. And they're like, well, have you considered paying for more? And I'm like, no, because one, I'm not even pegging out the bandwidth, and two, I'm talking about like your quality of service sucks, and me paying for a bigger downstream pipe isn't going to make my streams going out. I kind of have to explain to them what Twitch is,
right?
And it's somebody in a call center, so you know they don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I've been there. I was dealing with all that shit back in April and trying to like deal with my ISP, and just like, hey, this is the fucking problem, and it took me 4 service calls of people visiting my house to get one that came in. And he's like, no, I know what your problem is. I stream on Twitch. I know where your problems are at. Let me go look at your numbers. Hey, these numbers are looking a little bad. Let me go down and like rearrange your wires, split everything a little differently. And then they got my numbers down, and I've literally never had a problem since. So
I looked at the dB levels on my cable modem's interface, and they all look like what the internet says they're supposed to be. I think it's just the apartment complex I live at. The ISP has everybody on one node, it's like because there's no pattern to when I'm going to have it shit out on me or if it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
And anytime I run a test, obviously it's like, well, I'm not gonna say any time it has shit out on me on a test, but you know, it's when I'm on stream where it's like, and I'm at 3 FPS. Great.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, that's such trash. It's like fucking broadband in this country.
Well, and the fact it like the last time I streamed and it happened, I was like, I kind of don't want to be streaming right now if it's gonna keep doing this, and I can't get excited to stream because I don't know when it's gonna be unwatchable for any of the 3 people who may show up.
Yeah, like I totally get like why people get completely frustrated with like having technical issues on stream, and it feels fucking bad because you can't you're always like you could tell yourself, oh, don't look at the red lamp on OBS, don't look at it. You're going to, what's happening.
I think when that happens, I'm just going to make fart noises with my mouth and just like keep playing like nothing's wrong. And then when it turns green again, I'll just start actually doing commentary.
Lord BBH has this program that he uses when he starts having internet issues where anytime he drops frames, like it shows this graph on the left side, but it also makes just ridiculous fart sounds every time a frame is dropped. And it's really good. Everybody should also follow Lord BBH. He's super fucking amazing at arcade games.
Number one pie ass player.
Absolutely.
My favorite Lord BBH moment was when he was putting in quarters. It's on MAME, so you can just sit there and hit the button, and it's just every time pie ass you put in a quarter, it goes pie ass, and he sits there like he puts in so many quarters, it's like pie ass, pie ass, and then he gets to 69 credits, and he goes, well, I can't put any more in, and he waits a beat, and then pie ass puts in the 70th quarter.
Yeah. Lord BB-8's just good streams. He's like, I'm really enjoying his the series that he's doing now called Push to Reject, where he's going over like old arcade games that like aren't the really famous ones, but they're adjacent to those games. So you see a lot of like, oh, here's some real awful fucking Space Invaders clones that came out. No. But there's also some really interesting and cool shit that he's digging up that it's just like, yeah, absolutely go check out his YouTube channel and stuff to watch the Push to Reject series at least, because there's so much cool stuff that you just end up missing because like those smaller arcades are so less known, of course. Well, I guess like, you know, we ended the night on a real good note because I got to have a good conversation with you, and I feel like chat enjoyed that as well. So I guess we'll go ahead and start winding down. Beepner, is there anything that you'd like to, you know, shout out or do anything before we pop out of here?
Nope. That's it.
All right. Well, we're going to go over and we're going to go say hi to Freedom Pulse 97, who I'm pretty sure is playing some Shin Megami Tensei game, because that's what he do. But he just got the Shin Megami Tensei 5 world record. So everybody go give him like a big old congrats, because, hey, that's awesome. And we will catch you next time when I do something. Whenever, I don't know. I'll do something sometime. That's what you have to do. You gotta stream when you're a VTuber, Beepner. You know that? That's a thing that they make you do that.
I do not comprehend.
All right. We'll catch you all next time. Thanks for coming out. Bye!